Hey everyone, and happy Pilates Day from myself, Elisa, and all the team here at APPI. We thought in this World Recognition Day of Pilates, we would bring some of our most popular teachers all together for a combined class. So what you're about to enjoy is a first ever, fully amalgamated class of 6 of our best and most popular teachers. So I hope you enjoy class. It's my pleasure to kick off, and I'm going to work with you through your warm-up and then hand over to the rest of the guys who are going to each take 10-minute chunks of this class. It's all in honor of Joseph Pilates, the man who gave us this blessed gift of movement through the Pilates methodology. Elisa and I wouldn't be where we are today and wouldn't be delivering the service to all of you if it wasn't for the inspiration of Joe. And so today on World Pilates Day, we say big salute and thank you to Joe Pilates for giving us this fantastic method. I hope you're ready for class. Class starts with me. We're going to start in standing. So here we go. Everyone up and let's get started. All right. Please remember that you are in complete control of what you do and don't do with us in class today. So if there's any movements that myself or any of the other teachers do that you know aren't right for you, or you feel they're maybe a little bit too challenging, you don't have to progress to those. You're in complete control as we go. Let's begin by just reminding ourselves of our Pilates posture. Let's bring our feet together, turn out and in to parallel. I'm going to begin today by just reminding you of what we call your Pilates triangle. It's a way of just working the foot on floor contact and make sure we're all in working order. So we float forwards just a little bit, weight onto the base of your big toe. Reach the little toes out, come back onto the heel. Good, we do that again. We sway forwards, weight base of the big toe. We'll stretch the feet out, little toe, back onto the heel. What we've effectively done here is just create a nice little arch in your foot. And if you take your hands, place them up onto your buttock muscles, you may get a nice little surprise that they're working as well. To check, relax your feet. And you might feel those glutes switch off again. Let's make sure they're there. Sway onto the base of the big toe. Reach the little foot out, back onto the heel. Good, relax your hands, knees soft. Let's come up, place your hands onto the rim of the pelvis here in that standard cue, imagining your pelvis like a bucket of water. If we tip some water out the back of that bucket, we're in this flat back position, and it's not really very attractive, is it? We don't want to walk around like this all day long. So we're going to come up and out of that position. Tilt the bucket forwards and you sense, it's probably not where your back feels its strongest and safest. So we come back halfway between into neutral. Now you should all be familiar with how we activate neutral. So Pilates triangle through your foot, knees soft, neutral. Feel those two bony points at the front of your hips, in an inch and down an inch, and we activate our center all together with an inhale and exhale, and then slowly and gently center. Good, relax the hands, shoulders, think about smiling your collarbones, lengthening through the back of your neck, just a little chin nod, and we're in our nice Pilates posture. Here we go, let's warm up our shoulders with our offering. We fold, palms up to the ceiling. You have a nice little gap between your elbow and your waist. And we exhale, just offer the hands away. Inhale to come back. Just a little shoulder warm up, offer the hands away. Inhale to come back. Just 3 more. Offer away, in to come back. And you're just trying to feel a little connection into that lower shoulder blade here. Not pinching in the shoulders, just a little connection and back. Let's do 1 more. And back. All right, let's progress it onto our Cleopatra as you reach your hands out, stretch, then come back in and around. And again, we exhale, reach wide, inhale, come back and around. Let's do 3 more. Offer, reach wide, come back in and around. 2 more, and reach, come back in and around. Last time, reach wide, keeping the shoulders down, stretch, we come back in and around, lower down. Let's just release our neck off a little bit. Little shoulder roll. You start with your left shoulder. We do just a little roll. Good. Feeling how the shoulder blade's completely separate to the rib cage. It can move on its own. 1, 2, 3. Connect. Float the hand up. Little stretch to the side. Come back and down. Let's go the other side. Little shoulder roll. Release the neck. Release any tension in those upper trucks there. 3, 2, 1. Hand up. Little stretch to the side. Then we come back and around. Good. All right. Let's warm ourselves up a little more with our toy soldier. We float the hands up in front of you, palms in. And we're going to take a little knee bend. And then one arm shoots up, the other arm down. And then we come back. Good. And again, we take a little arm up and back. Let's do one more on each side. And back. The other side. Good. Now let's bring that knee bend in a little more. Knee bend and back. Good. Exhale. Little knee bend and back. Good. Keeping hips, knees and feet all in line and back. Good. And again. And back. We do an exhale and back. Exhale. Inhale to return. One more. And back. Hold here. Now we're going to add a little heel raise in as we go. Okay, my hands are going to shoot out of shot here, but you know the movement. Exhale, up. Inhale to return. And again, exhale, up. Inhale to return. Another 3, 2. Let's do one more each way to keep us even. And the other. And back. Good. Let's combine that now. We have our little knee bend and return and lift and return. Good. A little knee bend and return. Again, lift and return. Keep going with me. Bend and return. And again, lift and return. One more bend and return and lift and return. Good. Take those hands, place them on your waist. Let's keep working out our foot and ankle a little bit more. It's really important that we get that strength into that part of our body with our foot series. Hands onto your waist. Hips, feet in parallel. And we come onto a little lift. And then bend at the knees, heels to come back up. Let me turn on the side so you can see this a little better. As we lift, bend, heels and return. Again, lift, bend. Heels and return, again lift, bend, heels and return. Let's bring our arms up, lift, bend, heels and return and lift, bend, heels and return. 3 more, lift, bend, heels and return. 2 more, lift, bend, heels and return. Last time, lift, bend, heels and return. Good. All right. Hopefully our legs, feet and ankle are warmed up a little bit there. We've warmed up our shoulders, had a little neck release. Let's warm up our legs a little bit more. All right. Let's come into a little bit of our plie series. Keeping that center. Let's start with a nice little even plie as we come down into a little side plie here. Push through the heels. Sit bones connecting. Push through the heels. Lift. Back up. And again, we inhale. Exhale to lift. Inhale down. Exhale, push through the heels to lift. Good, that's it. Inhale down. Exhale again. Push to lift. We do another 3, 2, and last one. Good. Let's come down again. If you're taking class with me, you'll know that's not where we finish our warm-up. Let's stay here. We'll come into a few little plie bounces. Here we go with 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Let's step a little wider. Let's come a little lower. Let's work those hips. It's Pilates day. Let's work a little more. Here we go for 10. 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up and tall. Well done. Keeping that connection. A little bit of rotation here before I hand you over. Let's come down into that little plie again. Hands here, making like a round shape with your arms. Shoulders set. It's like you're going to draw a bow and arrow back here for me. Let's get a little bit of rotation into your chest. We come with an inhale, draw the elbow, draw, rotate around, and then return back to the middle. And we make a really nice fluid movement here. We breath in and out. Good, and breath in and out. Good, and again, breath in and out. Let's do another 3, 2, 1 more to each side. The other way. Come back in and up and toe. Good. Let's bring yourself back in. Turn out and out. Little knee bend. Our final exercise. A little roll down. Keeping yourself centered. I'm going to turn to the side just so you can see my spine. Hands forwards. A little chin nod. And just nice and roll. Just a little articulation. A little roll. If you know a forward bend isn't right for you, don't go through this one. Let's see if we can get ourselves down towards the floor. And then release the knees. Roll. Engage that center. Curl your spine back up. Mid-back, shoulders, head and neck. Here we go. 2 more. Breath in. Breath out. Roll. Down. All the way. Breath in. Hold. Breath out. Roll back up. And toe. Last time. Breath in. Breath out as we roll. All the way down. Inhale and exhale. Roll back up and toe. Alright guys, I hope you're warmed up, ready for the rest of your class. I'm going to hand you over to the team and you guys have yourselves a great Pilates day. Stay safe, stay well, stay at home for now. We'll see you in the studio when we can. Bye guys.
Hi guys, it's Mel here and I'm going to take you through the next part of our Pilates class. So as it's Pilates day, I've decided to wear my vest that has one of Joe's famous quotes which says, "It's the mind itself which shapes the body." So we're going to use this next part of the class just to focus a little bit on that mind-body connection that was so important to Joseph, as we focus a little bit just on that initial activation of those muscles to prepare you for some of the movements that are coming next. So if you haven't already rolled yourself down from standing, do that now to come down safely onto your mat. And we're going to come and lie onto our backs in our Pilates rest position. So we're going to just take a moment here to review our positions. So we're going to start again just checking that the feet are in a nice parallel alignment. We're nice and long through the back of the neck with that gentle chin nod. We're going to smile through the collarbones and just allow that rib cage to melt down nice and heavy into the mat. And then as well, we're going to take a moment now just to find our neutral. So if you want to make a little diamond and pop your diamond into your lower tummy, we're just going to tilt our diamond forwards and backwards to explore that movement. And then come to rest again where our hands are lying nice and flat. And then we're going to take a moment now just to find that center. So we might be thinking about a low slung belt, just crossing the hips and tightening up a notch or 2. Or maybe thinking about that pelvic floor as an elevator just gently traveling up to the 3rd out of 10 floors. So we're going to bring the arms down long by the sides and we're going to focus first of all on our rotational control. So we're going to have our headlights on the front of the hips pointing up towards the ceiling. And we're going to start off opening this left leg out to the side and then fold back to the midline. So we're going to keep repeating on the left side, allowing that movement through the hip, but not letting the pelvis follow. So you're going to imagine those headlights still pointing up, and we only want to take the leg as far as we can without letting those headlights come back and swing out. Last one here on the left side, and then we're going to bring that leg back to the midline. So we're now going to mobilize through that right hip, and just imagine the ball of your socket just rolling in that hip joint, allowing movement but keeping that pelvis stationary. And as we allow this movement through the right hip, we're also going to think about what's happening here through this left knee. And we're going to imagine your favorite drink just balancing on that knee that we can't spill. And then we're going to take that now into our alternating movements, side to side. Again, still keeping those headlights on the hips pointing upwards as we exhale away and inhale to use those inner thigh muscles to bring the legs back to the midline. Lovely. Last one here on each side. And then we're going to come back to our rest position and take it into our scissors level 1. So we're going to imagine now that we've got a tray of drinks on our tummy that we can't spill, and we're going to float that left leg now into our tabletop position and fold back down. So we're going to switch from side to side, almost as though we're just lying down and walking, checking that we've got that 90-degree angle at the knee and the hip, and keeping our tray nice and level. So we're exhaling again as the leg comes up, and inhale to lower down. Lovely. 2 more there on each side. And then we're going to combine these movements, and we're going to see if we can take it into our hip twist level 3. So on our next movement, again keeping our headlights now pointing up towards the ceiling, we're going to bring our right leg up into tabletop. And if you just look down, you should see that your foot is hidden behind your knee. So keeping that foot in line, we're going to open out from the hip and then fold back to the center. So again, pressing down gently through the supporting leg so that it stays anchored as we again allow that mobility through the hip, but not letting the pelvis follow. So we're exhaling to open and inhaling to come back. Lovely. Good. Last one here on the right side. And then we're going to float that leg back down to the mat. On our next exhale, we're bringing the opposite leg up. And again, just check that parallel alignment through the leg. And then allowing the leg to drop away and fold back in. So again, exhaling as the leg travels away from the body, and inhale to draw it back in. Good. So pushing this time through that right leg to again keep that leg nice and still. Good. Last 2 here. And on our next one, we're going to keep that leg up in our tabletop. And now we're going to deepen our abdominal connection by drawing that rib cage down further and bring the second leg up. And then we're going to glue the legs together as though we've got a zip running all the way from our pubic bone to our big toe. So from here, we're going to float the arms just gently above the mat and start to pulse them. So this is our hundreds level 3, which is one of our traditional exercises from Joe. So we're focusing here on the endurance of those abdominals. So aiming to keep the upper body nice and relaxed, the jaws are relaxed, we're reaching long through those fingertips, and just checking again that the knees are sitting directly over those hips. And here again, you're going to take a moment for that mind-body connection as we focus on the breath, nice and wide into the lungs. So we're going to breathe in for 5 arm pulses and out for 5 arm pulses. Lovely. So still reaching long, focusing on that breath. Lovely. Good. Last breath cycle here, breathing in, breathing out, and then relaxing the arms back down. And then from here, we're going to keep that abdominal connection, and we're going to lower one leg back down to the mat and take it straight into our scissors level 3. So we're going to just alternate the legs coming into tabletop with a little pause, inhaling as we pause and exhaling as we switch. So aim to keep the space under the knee the same and that pelvis still level as we switch from side to side. Lovely. Last one here. And then lowering that leg back down. So we're going to take it now into our double leg stretch. So again, we're going to float one leg up into our tabletop, connect that rib cage down and bring the second leg up and glue the legs together. Float the arms up to the ceiling. And here we're going to focus on our rib connection as we send those arms away and then circle them back to the start position. So we stretch the arms as far as we can without allowing the back to arch or the ribs to pop forwards. So we exhaling away and inhaling to come back. Good. So keeping that connection through the front of the body. Lovely. Good. So we're going to take that into our level 3. So we're going to bring the legs apart this time. And we're going to stretch to press that button on the wall and then circle back in. So stretching away and circle back in. So we're imagining that there's a little button halfway up the wall and we exhale and inhale to return. So just starting to prepare those abdominals as Gemma's going to take you through our abdominal series next. Lovely. So last 2 on each side. And then we're going to float the arms back down by your sides and allow one leg to come back down at a time. So enjoy the rest of the class. It was lovely to have you join us on Pilates Day.
Hi everyone, it's Gemma here. Happy Pilates Day. Thank you to Joseph Pilates for creating such a wonderful form of exercise. We are now taking over and we're going to do the abdominal section together. So bring yourself into sitting, legs are out in front of you. We're going to just sit back so our legs are actually out nice and straight. Arms up, shoulders back, breath in, breath out. Let's roll onto the back of the sit bones. Draw the pelvic floor in and roll the vertebrae one by one all the way down. Bring the hands around to your side. Use the hands to help you a little if you need to roll vertebrae by vertebrae all the way up and stretch to the toes. So we sit beautifully tall and exhale. Pelvic floor draws up, tummy draws in. Roll vertebrae by vertebrae back. Hands go over the head, scoop the hands round, and then use your hands a little to help you if you need to. Roll all the way forwards. Sitting beautifully tall. We're just going to go for 3 more. Rolling back, level by level by level, stretching out, and then rounding the body up. Stretch to those toes. Sit lovely and tall. Last 2. Vertebrae by vertebrae back. Stretch that body. Rolling up. To those toes. Last one. Nice and tall. Exhale. Round the body back. Stretch the arms overhead. Scoop the hands all the way in and slide the legs in. So lying in our Pilates rest position, take one hand under the lower back, one hand on the tummy. Just make sure we have a neutral spine. Would like to medium pressure on the underneath hand. And we're feeling that the tummy never grows bigger. So we don't want to see any doming tummies here, any bulging, anything like a Toblerone tummy, I sometimes call it. We want to make sure that we have a nice flat tummy. So keeping our nice rest position, we're going to exhale just one leg into tabletop. And then recruiting those deep abdominals by drawing the pelvic floor up, lower tummy softly in. We're going to float the second leg up. And making sure that we don't have any doming or any less or more pressure on that hand underneath. So starting here, we're just going to go into our scissors. So we're going to exhale to lower, inhale to lift. Just starting to awaken that core a little bit more. And then we're going to start to up the tempo. So we're going to exhale for 2, inhale for 2. Exhale for 2, inhale for 2. Exhale for 2, inhale for 2. Good. Keep going here at your own tempo. Make sure you're maintaining that tummy connection. And we're just going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Make a basket and place that behind your head. Cradle the head, long neck, elbows wide. We're going to exhale and scoop up and forwards from our rib cage. Take a peek at your tummy, make sure it's neutral and that your tummy's not doming. Lower back down. So we exhale, round up, keep a blueberry underneath the lower back. Inhale back down. This time we're going to march. We're going to exhale up and inhale down. Exhale up and inhale down. And again, curl and release. Curl and release. Make sure you have one blueberry underneath that lower back and you're not squashing that blueberry. And again, up and down. This time we stay up, we reach. We come in, we lower down. We come up and reach, in and down. And again, up and reach, in and down. Up and reach, in and down. This time come up, lift tabletop 1 and 2. We're going to reach, draw in, reach, draw in, reach, draw in for 3 and 2 and 1. Hug the knees, lower the head, and just massage the lower back. Take one foot to the floor. Keep the right leg in tabletop. Take your hands behind your head. We're going to work the obliques now. So we exhale, scoop up and across. We inhale to lower. Exhale, scoop up and across. And inhale to lower. One more and we're going to add more. So now we're going to come up and across and then reach away. Up and across, reach away. And again, up and reach. 2 more. Up and reach. 1 more. Up and reach. And curl into a ball. Hold it here. And then lower. Well done. Have a breath. Bring the other leg into tabletop. Let's go up and then reach straight away on this side. We know what we're doing. Good. Up and reach. Up and reach. If you know that was too much for you, stay on the level before. Good. Really nice. Up and reach. And again, up and reach. Up and reach. Few more. 2 more. 1 more. And then curl into a ball. Hold it there. And relax. Well done. Hug those knees into your tummy. Release that head for a moment. Give your legs a little bit of a massage. Give your back a little bit of a massage. And then take the feet to the floor. We're now going to hug up into a ball and we're going to go for a roll like a ball to massage that spine. So pull up through the pelvic floor and the abdominals. So we're rolling like a ball. Really drawing in through the abdominals. Trying to rock forwards and back. And then we're going to add in a few teaser holds. So we're going to roll up and hold. Roll up and hold. And again. Roll up and hold. Good. So rolling like a ball. Roll up each one. And if you want to add a little bit more, let's add a teaser. Holding. Drawing in through the tummy. Really holding nice and strong through those tummy muscles. 2 more. And hold. So rolling like a ball, rocking that body forwards and back. And then drawing the tummy in if you want it to pop up into a teaser. And then rock back, teaser, rock back, and teaser. Draw those tummies in. So we're rolling like a ball, really trying to draw that tummy in to rock forwards and back. And then, so we're rolling like a ball, pull those tummies in, breathe throughout. If you want a little challenge, come with me. We're going to come up and hold. Into our teaser. Use that breath. And hold it. Stay here. Draw that tummy in and let's hold together for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down we go. Well done. Then roll over. Onto your side we go. Hand down, bottom leg bent, top leg in front. We're going to come into some side bends. So when you're ready, let's exhale up and hold it here. So we're going to go 1 hip dip, 1 side bend, 1 pike. Okay? So 1 hip dip, 1 side bend, 1 pike. Good, and again, hip dip, side bend, and pike. Good, that's 4 down, 2 more. Hip dip, side bend, and pike. Last one, hip dip, side bend, and pike. Into our lovely front plank. Just rocking gently forwards and backwards on those tiptoes. Breathing out, breathing in. Make sure the body's nice and long and strong. Make sure you're drawing in through the tummy and not arching or sagging in the back. 2 more. And then you are all going to transition to the side beautifully. I'm going to spin around. And then off we go again for our hip dip, side bend, and pike. Hip dip, side bend, and pike. 4 more. Hip dip, side bend, and pike. And again, make sure you're breathing. Nearly there. So then coming forwards, just holding into your plank. Holding this for as long as you can. Good. We're just going to hold it for a little while. Draw in through the tummy, nice and strong, through those arms. A little bit longer, guys. And then coming down onto the knees. Sit back, open up that spine, have a breath. And really well done.
Hi guys, Elisa here. First of all, happy Pilates Day from me and huge gratitude to Joseph Pilates, the founder of this wonderful method that gives us all so many positive benefits for our lifestyle. Today we're putting together this incredible Pilates Day class for you that we sincerely hope you enjoy during this lockdown period. And I am taking you through a series for the glutes, which I'm really excited about. We're going to begin lying on our backs. So come to lie into the rest position. Okay, now be sure just to start off by aligning your feet, knees, hips and shoulders into parallel lines. Arms are down long beside your body, and we are going to begin with some shoulder bridges. To start, just take a wide breath in and a full breath out. Again, just to check your alignment and prepare for the movement. Here we go. Breath in to prepare. And just a pelvic roll. Breathe out, roll and round the lower back into the mat. And on your inhale, roll your pelvis back to its neutral. Again, exhale, scoop the tailbone up, roll and round just the lower back into the mat without lifting. And inhale, rolling back to neutral, keeping your rib cage flat and broad on the mat underneath you. And once more, just to enjoy that sense of elongating and decompressing your lower back. If you're feeling ready for the next step, we're going to go to a full shoulder bridge. So we breathe in to prepare, and as you breathe out again, scoop the tailbone up, round the lower back into the mat, but continue peeling your back away from the mat, bone by bone by bone, until you reach your shoulder bridge position, where your hips are higher than your ribs. Take a breath in to hold, and breathe out as you roll back down again, layer by layer by layer, returning to your neutral. Breathing in and breathing out. Roll, scoop, and peel. Keep the lower back long by reaching beyond your knees and keeping your hips high. And exhale, upper body nice and broad as you layer back down. And it's about the glutes. So focus on the glutes here. Draw the sitting bones together, feeling the gluteals working nicely to keep your pelvis level from right to left. Controlling each lowering phase of your shoulder bridge. Back to neutral. One more here with both feet. And then we're going to challenge the gluteals, of course, more by doing this with one leg. Again, nice and broad here as you layer back down to the mat, bone by bone, returning to neutral. So now keeping your pelvis level from right to left, scoop your right leg to tabletop, arms back on the mat for support. Breathe in to prepare, breathe out again, scoop, roll and peel away, keeping that pelvis level from right to left. Inhale at the top, checking your diagonal bridge position. And exhale, control, control, control as you lower. Again, breathe in to prepare, breathe out, level pelvis, scoop and roll and into this glute here so we keep our hips nice and level throughout our bridge. And exhale, lower. Good. Keep going. And we want to hold on to that feeling of elongation and decompression through the lower back that we were working on right at the start with our pelvic roll. So keep that tailbone scooping up to the ceiling. And exhale. Control, 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 all the way to neutral. Slowly lower your right leg down, level pelvis as you scoop your left leg up. And here we go again. Breath in to prepare. And breathe out. Scoop and roll, work into that glute. Check that your pelvis is level right to left. Inhale at the top of your bridge. Exhale, roll down, keeping the collarbones wide and the upper body broad. Inhale to prepare and exhale. Scoop and elongate, open the lower back. Keep the tailbone scooping up. Inhale, hips higher than ribs. And exhale as you lower back down. One more. Exhale, scoop and roll. Lift, lift, level, level. Now, holding your bridge position, lower the left leg and switch, lift the right. Level pelvis here, lower and lift. Let's keep scissoring. Broad across the shoulders. Scooping the tailbone up. That lengthen the lower back. And glutes are working hard, hard, hard to keep the pelvis level from right to left. One more on either leg. Last one now. Good. Check your pelvis is nice and level. Exhale as you roll back down with control. Slowly returning to neutral. Excellent work, everybody. Let's roll over onto our fronts now. Okay, now this next series you can do either on your forearms here, or you can do it in the high position. The important thing is that you feel a strong connection with your abdominal wall so we don't allow any sinking into the lower back, and that way we really, really work hard into our glutes. So I'm going to come down onto my forearms. Now, my elbows are just slightly forwards of my shoulders, and importantly, I'm drawing through my core and feeling a connection between my lower ribs and my pelvis to avoid here. Right, let's start with the glutes. Breath in to prepare, and a breath out. Stick with the right leg. We lift up, inhale, lower, just to hover the leg. Exhale, inhale, lower. And obviously the lift is as high as you feel you can control that lower back. We don't want any arching or dumping into the lower back. We want strong connection with the abdominals as we pump through these glutes. We're going for 8 on either leg. I hope I can keep track. That's 7. Connect through the front of the body, and 8. Okay, longer leg now. We're going to reach and fold. Exhale, lengthen, reach and fold. Remember that connection between the lower ribs and the front of the pelvis, working hard through the abs as well as the glutes to keep a neutral lower back. Reach and in, another 2 to go. Now hold the leg long. Inhale, lower. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lower. Exhale, reach. So it's not a lift, absolutely not. We are reaching from our hip out long through the leg. And 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and of course hold the leg. Give me a bit more reach. Draw the shoulders down, connect the front of the body, bend at your knee, send the heel up for 10 pulses. 10, 9, 8, pulse from the hip, not from the lower back. Connect the abs. 5, 4, pulse. 3, 2, 1. Give me a reach. Reach, reach, reach out through the hip. And let's swap sides. Here we go. Take a moment, readjust, reconnect. Breath in to prepare. And exhale. Inhale, lower to hover. And exhale, reach. And lower. Good. Remembering to keep the connection strong through the front of the body so that we enable the work into the glutes. 4, and 3. Keep those shoulders out of the ears. And last one. And now we reach. Exhale and in. Exhale and in. And reach. And connect at the front. And breathe out and in. And 3, and 2, and 1. Give me that reach. lengthen, longer. Keep the leg long. We inhale, tap, and exhale, reach. Inhale and exhale, lower and reach. Keep the body still. Use your breath to help. And good. Shoulders down away from the ears, back of the neck long, and 2 to go. And reach and hold. Flex at your knee, send the heel up for 10, here we go. And 10, pulse, 8, 7, lift, lift, 5, 4, connect the abs, 2, 1, give me a reach again, long, nice and long. Bring the leg in, cross your legs, bring yourself down, sit bones on the floor, and give yourself a nice stretch forwards. Big breath in. And exhale, release. One more big breath in, wide. Exhale, rolling up. Whew. I hope you enjoyed your glutes. I know I'm a bit sweaty. Enjoy the rest of the class.
Hello, happy World Pilates Day everyone. My name is James and welcome to my section of our special World Pilates Day class. In my section, I'm going to be focusing on upper body strength, but of course with this wonderful movement system shared with us by Joseph Pilates, it's an integrated system, so we will be using our abdominal muscles as well. Before we bring it into the 2 exercises I've chosen to test our upper body strength today, we're going to do an activation exercise. This will help reduce risk of injuries, improve posture, and maximise the effectiveness of our training. The activation exercise we're going to do is called sternum drops. For this, we're going to bring it round into an all-fours position on the mat, and the aim of this exercise is to activate our serratus anterior muscles to help with that shoulder blade placement. It's also going to help those rotator cuff muscles that support our shoulder joints. So you want to bring it so that you've got your knees directly beneath your hips and your hands directly beneath your shoulders. Think about getting that nice neutral spine. So if that head's hanging on off axis, just lengthen out the back of your neck, slightly pushing the back of your neck up towards the ceiling. And then our focus is the area between your shoulder blades. Keep that lower back nice and still. So if you imagine you've got a beverage balanced on the small of your back, you don't want to spill it. And then on your outward breath, you're just going to lift that area between your shoulder blades up towards the ceiling, engaging those serratus anterior muscles, and then breathing in, lower that area down. Just keep a slight micro bend in your elbows as you activate those muscles. And a really nice cue to think about for this is if you imagine you've got a suitcase handle between your shoulder blades, each time you breathe out, you're lifting that suitcase handle up towards the ceiling. Just breathing in as you lower that down, and then breathing out as you lift that area up. So just nicely using that outward breath on the effort each time, keeping that head nice and neutral in line with your spine, keeping that gaze down at the mat. Excellent. Just breathing in as you lower, breathing out as you lift. A nice 10 to 20 of these to get those muscles nicely activated and think about that lovely alignment. Excellent. From there, if we just sit it back on your heels, and then if we just do a bit of joint circling on those wrists, nicely release those wrist muscles, and then we're ready to go into the first of our 2 upper body strength exercises. We're going to bring it into a variation on leg pull called leg pull prep. So we're going to bring it back to that all-fours position again. Again, you want to make sure you've got your knees directly beneath your hips and those hands directly beneath your shoulders. And then if you think about that great work we just did to engage those muscles, lift that suitcase handle up towards the ceiling. And then if you tuck your toes under, I'm going to hover those knees up just above the mat. And then breathing in, place those knees back down again. Now each time you bring those knees up, I want you to think about engaging those lower abdominal muscles. So if you imagine you're trying to get into a really tight fitting pair of jeans, that feeling just before you do up the zip is the feeling you want just before you raise up those knees. And we're just using that nice outward breath each time. You're keeping that head nice and neutral in line with your spine. Each time you hover those knees up. Excellent. Again, aim to do around 10 of these as you hover those knees up and down. Good job. And then once you get to your 10, try and hold that position. And for a little bit of an extra challenge, just imagine you've got a tray of drinks balanced on your back. You're just going to try and float up that left foot and place it back down, and then float up that right foot and place it back down. Let's just aim to do 10 of those, keeping those hips perfectly still as you hold that position. If it's challenging enough holding the all fours position, just continue to hold that all fours. Excellent. And then once you've done your 10, if you just place those knees back down, and then let's bring it into a nice child's pose stretch. If you take your knees out to the edges of the mat, sink your body back, reach those arms out, get a lovely stretch into your hips. Now, if that was already challenging enough, repeat what you did in the previous round. But if you want to take this up a notch, we'll take it up another level in these variations on leg pull. For this, instead of having your hands underneath your shoulders, you're going to take your hands towards the top edge of your mat, making those levers longer in your arms. And then from there, if you tuck those toes under again, hover those knees just above the mat, and then on your outward breath, if you shoot your body through into a cannon position, that area is nice and lifted between your shoulder blades, and then breathing in, bring those knees back down, and bring it back down onto the mat. So on the outward breath, shoot your body through, head nice and neutral in line with your spine, engage those glutes, engage those abdominals, breathing in as you lower that back down again. Again, aim to do, as you build this up, aim to do 2 to 3 sets of 10 of this exercise. But your focus as ever in Pilates is with the correct alignment. So you're just aiming to do as many as you can with the best form possible. As soon as that alignment suffers, stop what you're doing. Even if you've done 3 or 4, it will still be nicely beneficial. Excellent, just breathing out, shoot that through. Breathing in as you lower that back down again. And then on this final one, if we shoot it through, let's just hold that position, and for a little bit of an extra challenge, just see if you can hold that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent, bringing that down. Let's bring it back into that child's pose stretch. And for a variation this time, have your thighs underneath your body, and then you'll get a bit more of a stretch into your lower back and into your shoulders. Excellent. From there, we're going to move on to our second upper body strength exercise now, a basic push-up. Again, we'll do 2 variations of this. The first basic push-up we're going to do off of your knees. Now, you don't want to leave that bottom up in the air, so if you adjust your knees back so that you get a 45-degree angle in your hips, and then at the bottom of the push-up, you've got that nice alignment, area nice and lifted between your shoulder blades. The hips should be in line with your shoulders at the bottom of the press up. And again, we're aiming to build up to 2 to 3 sets of 10 of these. Keeping that head nice and neutral in line with your spine. The head is the top of your spine, so don't let it hang off axis. And you've got that lovely lift between your shoulder blades as you bring that up and down. Think about keeping those elbow pits turned forward as well as you press that away. Think arms like a crocodile or arms like a sphinx. And then that's going to help with that shoulder placement. And then once you've done your allotted set of that with good form, bring it back into that child's pose stretch again. And then for this variation on child's pose, if you walk your hands over to the left of the mat, place your right hand above your left hand, get a nice stretch in your right shoulder and the right side of your back. To feel that a bit more, crawl that right hand away. And then if you walk your hands over to the right of the mat, place your left hand above your right hand and crawl that left hand like it's a spider crawling across the floor. Get that nice stretch into your left shoulder and the left side of your back. Excellent. And then bring that back to center. Well done. From there, we've just got one more progression to do. We're going to bring it into a full press up. So if you just get those hands underneath your shoulders, just a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Tuck those toes under, hover those knees up, and then with the best form you can manage, breathing out as you blow the ground away, breathing in as you lower that back down, Keep that head nice and neutral in line with your spine. And you're keeping that lovely alignment. It's like you've got a straight line from your heel to your hip to your shoulder. Turning those elbow pits forward. A push-up is basically a dynamic plank. So it's a wonderful abdominal exercise as long as you're not breaking at the hips, as well as being fantastic for strengthening that upper body. When you've done your allotted number of reps with good form, you can bring that down, have a nice recovery, and then that concludes our 2 upper body strengthening exercises. And again, because of that wonderfully integrated system that is Pilates, we've had a really good abdominal workout as well as engaging those glutes. That concludes my section of our Pilates day class. Have a wonderful rest of the class, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a good one.
Okay guys, so looking at getting our spines moving a little bit, we're going to sit starting with our legs just crossed like so. Really plugging your sit bones into the ground, because it's from those that we're going to try and find some movement away and to stretch through the body. So float your arms out to the side. We're going to start with some mermaids. So lengthen out of the waist. Find some length through that top side now. As we tilt, bring the hand down. We're going to lower the elbow toward the floor. And where we get to depends on what happens to this hip. Keep it down. See where we can get to and pause just before we come off the ground. And find that interaction with the floor to send the rib cage up to the roof as we circle the top arm up and over. From here we slide the hand behind our head, and we're going to think about a torch coming out of our chest. Turn to slowly shine that down, allowing the elbow to come across the face just calmly, and we open up with a nice big breath in and a little spiral up toward the roof. Breathing out. Breathing in, open the chest, grow wide through the collarbones. And we keep going for 2 more from here. You may find that your elbows naturally is able to get a little bit further as we stretch open through the body. Breath in and breath out, rotate all the way down. Open up to the front, shoot that long arm really long, lift the ribs to the roof, and we lead the top of the body up and over. Other side, so again, aeroplane the arms over, place the hand down, and see where that elbow can get to before we let the opposite hip leave the ground. Find as much stretch and as much lift through the outside of the body as we come into that mermaid. From here, hand behind your head. We're going to breathe out, softening the breath as we turn the chest to letting the arm come across our body. Breath in as we open the chest to turn and look up to the roof. So look, the key thing here is, especially with me saying things like look to the roof, is that we really want to make sure that this is driven from a sense of the rib cage turning. So whether that be an idea of the torch on the chest shining down to the ground and shining up, or whether you just try and think of the upper body remaining as a statue and we feel that the movement is being driven from that rib cage. It's up to you, see what works. We're going to come last one around to the side. Open back to square to the front, reach that top arm long to stretch the outside of the body, and we lift up from there and we come into the top. Good. So from here we're going to come over into our next exercise. Okay, so now we're going to move into an exercise to work on some thoracic extension. It can be a bit tricky for those of us who get really stiff there, because obviously our spines love to move where they move well and don't love to move where they don't move so well. So to start with, if you don't have a roller, grab yourself a rolled up towel. So you roll it really densely, so it's going to give you something that replicates this kind of a shape on the ground that won't just squash down. So we want to place it into that mid-back first, and this is just a short little manoeuvre, wrapping the part of the back that's in contact with the towel or the roller, back it around into that back bend. Just take it steady, not overdoing anything. Of course, this is a little bit like an abdo prep, so we can be mindful that as we come back up, we're driving it from the rib cage coming down. But most of all, we're trying to explore the movement that we can find. Now, the more that you extend, try not to force. Try to think more about getting length. So the spine that is touching the towel or the roller grows a little bit longer. You may want to stay there, get your breath to help you stretch out through there and come back.
But if we're going to go into our tummy or work in prone to try and find some extension without really giving it that mobility to start with, it's going to be a lot tougher for us. So we're going to come over onto our knees now. So what I would like to do is we're actually going to block the movement of our lower back today by coming into a deep kneeling position from here. I'd like you to lay your belly down onto your thighs, and if you can sit to your heels, please do. My knee's just a bit sensitive today, so we're not going to. So the whole idea is we let the entire upper spine fall forward. So we want to think about the feeling that we had on the other side. Send the breastbone forward, and as we do, we glide the shoulders through the back, and we imagine pressing that breastbone forward onto the roller. Now at this point, just connect with the idea of your tummy remaining in contact with your thighs and the eyes staring straight to the ground. So we're trying to get some way to give us that feedback about not moving too much where we typically find it quite easy, which is the lower back and the neck into this position. Really involve the shoulder blades so that we're getting the whole area working together. Use your breath, try breathing in and breath out to relax down. One more. Now we're just going to reverse this. So now zip up into your cat stretch, pressing through the legs a little bit. My hands are very light on the roller, and we come back down. Now we reverse, we reach the chest up, keep the eyes on the floor, and back down. Scoop the belly in. We come up, and reaching out, we leave the belly down this time. Reach the breastbone forward. We're going to do one more of these each. And last one. Good, and release. Good, take a little moment. So if we haven't got the roller at home, remember we can always just do this through walking your hands. I'll just toss that away, but we can also, depending on the flooring we have, we can choose something that slides well. So if you're on carpet, a plastic bag works beautifully. Otherwise, a cloth to slide on the floor is beautiful as well. So let's do one more set from there. Really lead through the chest, keep the eyes to the floor, and we come back down. We press through the legs, we arch up into our cat stretch, and we lay down. Again, breathe in, breathing out. Breath in. And slowly see if we can creep that into a little bit more range of extension. As we go, last one, holding that up. Shoulders down, hold there, and relax all the way down for a breath. Okay, for our last exercise, we're going to look at our whole spine articulation. So this is more the skill of how we move the spine piece by piece. And we're going to start with our traditional cat stretch, and we're going to build from there. So before we start, I just want to make sure that we all can think about this in separating the movement through our spine. So can we start with this idea of breastbone or the chest remaining perfectly still, and we're going to see if we can imagine a torch on our tail here shining straight back to the wall behind us. So all I want you to imagine is where that torch is shining back, and we're going to try and shine the torch down to the floor, noticing a scooping and lengthening, so through the tummy and lengthening through the lower back. And then as we shine that torch up the wall, just notice the widening of the sit bones and the deepening of that back curve into extension. So we're trying to actively move the lumbar spine, but we're trying to drive that through the lower tummy and through those hips from there. Okay, keeping the chest nice and still. So we bring the pelvis back to neutral. Now I just want you to think about the rib cage. So we are going to round the upper back just a little bit. We can drive this through pressing through our arms, and also through using more of the upper abdominals here, and try to let the head always just follow along nicely, but the rib cage is driving this movement. So see if we can move the ribs up, let the head softly roll off the top to lengthen through the back of the neckline, and then the breastbone leads forward and the head just naturally, gently gazes forward. So let's piece it all together. Let's draw the tail down, scoop the belly up so we get the lower back developing that curve. Then we drive the ribs up, drive the hands down into the ground and soften the head off the top. We then reverse, lift the tail, start to ripple as we let the breastbone drive through the arms and the head softly rolls up. Let's just do one more. So really thinking of a rippling wave with our spine, and then back the other way. Now if that's enough for you to have to consider at this stage, please do. Otherwise, I'm going to challenge those of you who want to be able to have that same quality of movement under more load. So we're going to drive through the hands, through the feet, engage the center, and we just hover off the ground. So again, we're after movement. So we're going to tuck the tail under, scoop the belly, lift the ribs, and roll the head down. Again, lead with the tailbone, open the chest up through the arms, and the head rolls up. Again, rolling through the spine. Let the head roll forward. Tail lifts, open the chest forward. Good, and head up. Last one. Scoop and really ripple through that spine. Last one, tail lifts, chest comes through, and we soften down from there. Beautiful. So it's quite tough, yeah, to see if you can keep the same sort of broken up movement through that spine once you put under quite a lot of stress and weight. Okay, so as a final thing, we're just going to go into some extension and rotation. And so I'm just going to slightly change my angle from here. And don't mind me with the ball, it's just my knee isn't going to tolerate sitting all the way down. But we're going to sit into our heels, just like we would for our child pose stretch, but open the knees a little bit wider. We're going to bring our elbows down onto the ground, so they're quite close to the knees at this point. What I'm going to get you to do is you're going to place one hand onto the same thigh. We're going to press down through our supporting arm. We're going to really use that arm on the leg to spiral and help us mobilize into that rotation. Shoulders away from the ears, opening up the chest, and we soften back down. Let's swap back to the other side. Rotate, opening your collarbones, opening your chest. Hold for a breath in. And back down. Good. So from here, the hand that would be going onto your leg, we're going to now place the back of our forefingers onto our forehead, like we would be saluting. And we're going to rotate from here to look around and up to the roof. So we are interacting with the floor through our bottom elbow. I'm pressing down, I'm lifting the body away, and I'm spiraling the chest as I try and slide my shoulder blades sort of towards each other behind me so as to make the chest get wider and wider. Try breathing out as you open if this is a stiff position for you. Or try breathing in if you really want to demand quite a lot of control and challenge from this exercise. And last one. And we swap to the other side. So back of the hand comes to the forehead, we tap the elbow and we press through our supporting elbow. Turn the chest and try and use our back muscles to try and connect so that we're left to open the front of the chest. Again, try breathing out. As you rotate, breath in as you come down. Or if you want to challenge yourself a bit more, breath in. And notice how that's quite a lot harder to find that rotation and flexibility, and we relax all the way down. Great, well done guys. And that's
Welcome to Pilates Day. I'm Mark, I'm the clinic manager at APPI in Hampstead, and I'm going to take you through a hip articulation sequence. We're going to start by sitting round, propping ourselves up, nice and relaxed. We're going to make sure that the chest is reasonably high, not overly arching, but certainly not slumping into the spine. We're going to be in a steady neutral position. And then from this position, we're going to focus on the roundness of our hip joints. And we're going to do that to start with by letting one hip fold out and then drawing it back towards center and then slightly leaning in across midline. We're going to keep that going on one side, maybe 5 or 6 repetitions. Nice and steady, rolling back and forth. I'll show you from the front as well. But keep going with that one hip to start with, rolling in and rolling out. And what we might feel is a little nudge of pinch into that internal rotation and maybe a little bit of stretch as we externally rotate. And we don't need to bully our hips when we're practicing this movement. We want to keep it easy and relaxed. And we can switch sides. And we're going to go for a similar sort of number on this side. Nice and straightforward. And remember, we're keeping the breath in
and out steadily, just warming up the hip. Just 2 more repetitions. Good, and then from here, we're going to tuck one foot in and take the other foot around into our mermaid shape. And we can do lots of things from this position, but we're just going to have a reach from this position. And to start with, I'm going to reach one hand forwards and the other hand forwards, and reach and crawl the hands away and lean into a little bit of stretch through this hip. We're going to hold that stretch for 3, 2, 1, and bring yourself back up to center and back up to our tall position. From here, I'm going to turn my chest so that it faces over my knee. And I'm going to walk my hands away in that direction now. And what we'll feel is a little bit more of a defined gluteal stretch. And hold, maybe draping the spine forwards, laying yourself down for 3, 2, 1. And we can use the hands to assist ourselves back up to our tall position. And lastly, we're going to twist and see if we can turn to the slightly awkward position for this hip. So slightly turning into this side. I'm going to use my hands to support, and maybe even use my hand to support here to create my bow. And you'll notice I'm not going to go anywhere near as far as I've gone in the other 2 movements. Some of you may find this is a little bit pinchy for the hip. We can ease back from there if you care to, or if you're feeling nice and mobile, leaning into it a little bit more. Just hold for 3, 2, 1, and back to our neutral position. We can sweep round to switch sides, so I can go open one knee and round to the other side. But now you can't see me, so I'm going to turn and adopt the same position. Let's come a little closer. Good, and from here we'll do the same 3 movements. Walk the hands straight forwards and hold there for 3, 2, 1. Walking the hands back in, back up. Twist towards the knee and lay your body down along the thigh to find your gluteal stretch, and hold for 3, 2, 1, and slowly picking yourself up, and again twisting into this slightly awkward shape, and then folding forwards if you've got it. And you'll notice I'll go a little bit further on this side compared to the other side, and hold for 3, 2, 1, and then we can come back to center. From here, I'm going to straighten one leg out and bring the other one round. And here we're in our long sitting position. So from the side, I'm reasonably upright, but I'm actually going to plant my hands down and create a little bit of curve in my spine, okay? And we're going to work on some inner range hip flexor loading before we then open up the hips even more. From this position, I'm just going to push into the palms of my hands, and then float one leg up and hold for 3, 2, 1, and down. And this is quite tough. If you feel that you're going to cramp into your quad, it's very normal. You just need to let things relax and then repeat. We're going to go for another one on the other leg and press into the palms, round the back, and lift and hold for 3, 2, 1, and slowly down. Switch legs, hover, push into those hands. 3, 2, 1, and slowly down. Switch legs, hover, and 3, 2, 1, slowly down. One more to do on each side. Lift the leg and hover for 3, 2, 1. Last one, and hover. 3, 2, 1, and slowly down. We've just done some compression work for those hips, for strengthening into those hip flexors, and let's see about opening those guys up now. So I'm going to slide down Lay back down onto my back, roll over onto my side, and just pick up my heel behind me and pull the heel tight into the bottom. I'm going to relax down here and hold steady. Just 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to relieve the stretch, roll over onto the other side, lay my head on the hand, pick up my heel to the bottom, push the hips forwards, squeeze into the glutes to apply the stretch through the quads, and hold steady. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We can once again relieve that stretch, and we're going to roll over onto your stomachs now. And from here, just rock back and fold into the hips fully. Nice relaxed child's pose position. Hold steady. 10 seconds here. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we can come up into a tall kneeling position. From this tall kneeling position, we're going to take a step forwards into this proposal position. I'm going to tuck my tailbone slightly and push my hips forwards to create a small lunge and apply a stretch into the hip flexor. From the front, the pelvis should be square. There should be no twist in the movement as we hold this stretch. Just another 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, we can interlace the fingers, push them forwards, reach up, and small side bend, just for a couple of moments before bringing ourselves back down and switching legs around. Again, tuck tailbone, push the hips forwards, keeping square in the body, apply the hip flexor stretch. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Once again, we're going to interlace the fingers, push the fingers forwards, reach up, overhead, and side bend, just for a breath. And breath out, coming back to center. And from here, I'm going to tuck my toes under, plant my hands down, push into a crouched position. Maybe wiggle my feet out a little way further. Round down, nestle into the hips, just for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grow tall into the spine, say hi to the world, and have a stand up. And that's taken us to the end of my 10-minute sequence. Enjoy the rest of the day.
My name is Helen Feeney, to those of you who don't already know me, and I'd like to wish you all a very healthy and happy Pilates day. So you've all worked very hard so far, and now it's my turn to take you all through a nice flowing cool down. So if you'd like to start, feet together, separate toes, followed by heels. We're going to start by loosening up through the middle and upper part of the back. So if you'd like to fold your arms across your chest, let's take a moment to check our posture. So you're lengthening through the crown of the head, smiling out through the collarbones, finding that connection between the ribs and hips, rocking the hips forward and back, finding that neutral spine, and off we go. We're coming into a twist one way, back through the midline, and the other. Inhale, come into the center, exhale to the right. Good. So let's see if you can get a little bit further each attempt. So exhale away, inhale back in. So you're moving from the rib cage. The hips stay pointing forward and your head and neck follow the movement. If you'd like a little bit more of a challenge here, you can float your arms out to the side, palms face forward, and you might feel this a bit more into your tummy muscles. That's it, exhale away, inhale back in. That's it. Okay, let's do one more each side. Lovely, slowly lower the arms down. And now let's go into a side bend, one direction and the other. So you slide your fingertips along the thighs, taking them down as far as you're happy for them to go. Don't force anything. Exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale back up. Exhale down. Inhale back. So imagine you're sliding your trunk between two panes of double glazed window. So going directly down to the side. Great. So on the next one, if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can slide one hand along your waist, scoop up, over and around, and then down the other side. Imagine you're zipping yourself in half with one arm. Good. That's it. So work at your own pace, and let's do one more each side. Great, and now reach the arms forward to shoulder height, leading with the left. We're going to reach that left arm over and around. And back to the middle, right arm. If it feels nice, you can follow your fingertips with your gaze. Otherwise, you can keep your head facing forward. So our aim here is to loosen up that middle and upper part of the back. Often the bit of the back that feels most stiff and tight. So as we come into our rotation here, keep an eye on those shoulders, keep them sank away from the ears. Your shoulder blades are sinking down towards that lower part of your back. Keep going, and you're engaging your ribs, so we're trying to avoid any lifting forward of the ribs. Keep that tailbone, nudge down to the floor. Great, let's do one more each side. Lovely, lower the arms down and hold there. Take your legs apart slightly, and your toes can point out to about 2 and 10 o'clock. So, hands on hips, and we're going to come into a small forward bend and back up. I'll show you from the side. So you're sticking your hips out behind you, hinging through the hips. That's it, so you're maintaining a neutral spine. A little squeeze of the glutes as you come up. Keep going. Now, if you want more of a challenge, you can reach your arms out to the side. That's it. And after this next one, we're going to add a little bit of rotation. So leading with the left, we're going to come down and tap the inside of the opposite ankle and come back up. And let's alternate sides. Now, if you can only tap the inside of your knee or the inner thigh, that's absolutely fine. Our aim here is to get a rotation into the spine whilst getting a bit of a stretch down the backs of your legs. So we're cooling down here, take your time. Exhale, lower down, inhale back up. Exhale down, inhale back up. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Good. Slowly lower the arms down. Hold that position. Turn to the side. And let's stretch the hamstring. So you're stretching that front leg, sinking back through the behind knee. Okay, so your back stays straight. Tuck your tailbone down towards the floor. If you want to enhance that stretch, you can point your toes up towards your nose. That's it. And hold there. Keep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Sometimes on the exhale, if you sink down a little bit lower, you might enhance that stretch. That's it. And now come up, and you're going to bend the front knee. And we're going to sink the behind heel down, straighten out that leg to stretch your calf muscle at the base of your lower leg. and hold there. That's it. If you want more, sink down through the front leg, open wide through the shoulders, keep your neck long. That's it. Well done. Come back up. Stay facing forward. Open the arms out to the side. And let's come into a little plie and open wide. That's it. So opening the knees wide out to the side. Point them out towards your baby toes. And you feel that stretch into the inner part of your thigh. Good. Hold there. Hands back on your hips. Shift over to the right. And hold there. Let's stretch the inner left thigh. That's it. If you want more, face your toes directly ahead rather than at an angle. Good. And hold there. And come back in. And let's change sides. That's it. So the leg you're stretching is straight. Your toes can either point out to the side, but ideally you have them facing forward to enhance that stretch into your inner thighs. Sink down even lower if you want more. Right, and come back up. Now let's turn around to the opposite side. We're going to come into our hamstring stretch on the left now. So you're bending behind knee. Hold there. Keep your hips level. Hips pointing directly ahead. Tuck tail under. Hold that position. If you want more, point your toes up towards your nose. This can be quite a challenging one. Make sure you're not causing any pain. You might find you're a lot tighter on one side than the other. I'm definitely tighter here. That's it. Come up. Now straighten the behind knee. Bend the front. And hold there. Knee straight. Heel in contact with the floor. And if you want more, sink deeper into the front leg. And hold there. Good. Stand back up. Come right through the midline. Curl your feet back in to about hip width apart. And then you're going to float both arms up to the ceiling. Check your posture here. So keep the neck long. Stay wide through the shoulders. Ribs melt down toward the front of your hips. And let's reach both fingertips up to the sky. And lower down. And again, reach all the way up. And lower down. Keep going. So we're lifting your rib cage away from your pelvis beneath it. That's it. Exhale, reach up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lower. So let's do a single arm now. Leading with the left. So reach that left arm all the way up and lower. Start looking up towards your fingertips if your neck allows. That's it. So now you're moving one side of the rib cage away from the pelvis on the same side. Exhale, reach away. Inhale, back in. Exhale, reach away. Inhale, back in. That's it. So you might hear some clicks and clunks. I definitely do. Okay, 4 more. Can you get even higher? 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. Arms come down by your side. And let's come into some shoulder shrugs. That's it. So make the shoulder shrugs as big or as small as you can manage comfortably. That's it. Hold there. And let's take a side bend to the left. Feel a stretch along the opposite side of the neck. Hold there. That's it. I'll stay there. Great. And when you've had enough, come back up. And let's throw shrugs the opposite direction now. That's it. Make them even bigger. 3, 2, and 1. And side bend to your opposite side. And hold. That's it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back into the middle. And now we're going to come into a quarter roll down. So that's going to look like this. So you're going to come down to the side. And then you're going to fold yourself forward just towards the midline. Hold there. And then come back up. And let's go to the other side. Side bend. Once you can't go any further, you're going to roll forward into a quarter roll and stop when your nose is in line with your breastbone. Slowly come back up. Lovely, let's do one more side. That's it. So again, we're isolating that middle and upper part of your back for now. That's it. Hold there, and now let's come to a full roll down, chin to chest. Peel yourself away from that imaginary wall behind you. Your head is heavy, arms are heavy like a rag doll. So come down as far as you can comfortably go. And hold there. So we're aiming to feel that stretch along your back, along the backs of your legs. If you need to come up a bit higher for comfort, please do that. Or if you can come down even lower, great. If it helps, you can bend and straighten through the knees. Good, see if you can come down any lower. Let's do 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold there. Big breath in. Exhale. Tuck your tail between your legs. Stack yourself up one vertebra at a time. So your head and shoulders are the last bit to come up. Great work. Feet out to the side. And let's do a couple of big deep breaths to finish. So we're going to sink down, open back up. Exhale down. Inhale back up. Exhale down. Inhale back up. Last two. Last one. Brilliant work. That is your cool down done. Thank you all very much for joining, and I really look forward to seeing you all again very soon.